going on, everybody? Cult of Collectors. It's John and Charlie with you guys tonight. We're going to be hanging out with you. I'm not sure if Jody's going to make it or not. I don't know. He had a last minute honeydew project grilling out
Basically.
for company, I guess, coming over. So we have no idea if he's going to show up or not. So,
Yeah, he never said yes or no. He just said that he was grilling.
yeah. So what have you been up to, Charlie?
Well,
Working.
bullshit with work. Apparently, I have people who don't like me there and don't care if I'm there or not, which kind of sucks because I need the job in itself because it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
So, other than that, though, I mean, like, things are good, in a general sense.
Assume you probably go in and actually work. That's probably why people don't like you.
Probably because I actually do tend to follow the rules, and
Yeah.
when they notice that I'm doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's like, oh, let's see what we can do to get him in trouble to make him look bad. And it's like, dude, really? You got to be that immature?
Yeah, I had a job a long time ago where I worked in a factory, and some guy trained me on a piece of equipment. I kind of worked in almost like an office area. I did kind of like, I don't know what you call it. But what I did didn't matter. But he was training me on a piece of equipment, but he trained me incorrectly on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got in trouble on it, and I said, "Well, he trained me to do it. This is how he showed me to do it." And
Yeah.
he's one of these guys that's been there a while. It's just aggravating. People do things on purpose to try to make themselves look better, make you look bad.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I've I've had bad experience. I hate factories. I hate factory work. I hate working in them so much. So some people love working them, but I just think
I've never worked one, so I wouldn't know if I would or would not like one.
they're just I just think they're boring. I like every time I work at one, I'm always
The job
I
I
don't
have
know,
is
it's kind of
boring right
boring.
now. All you do is really stand around and ask people if they need help, have any questions, and if they want work, then you help them. But other than that, there's nothing to do
Yeah.
because it's a kiosk.
And then you got people. Then you got like a supervisor or something probably always bugging you. So you need to look like you're busy or something.
And that's the sorry part is
Yeah.
because we lost our kiosk manager over a month ago and we haven't even gotten a new one yet.
Yeah.
Somebody got hired for it, but then like very first day demoted to just regular sales employee.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I right before I got on disability, that last job I had, I mean, it's a really good paying job. So you kind of put up with a lot of things, but
Hmm.
you, I said I was a maintenance person, and I'd been around the project since the construction days, so then it kind of kept us a little bit busy.
Hmm.
But it's kind of was a government type job. So
Oh, okay.
once we went into production, destroying chemical weapons. Once we went into that phase of the work, we would come in and you would, I worked 12-hour shifts, and
Yeah.
you would come in and you would have like one job, and it might just be to go put grease in a motor somewhere. So, it's just just a base, easy thing. It takes about 5 minutes, but of course it's a government job, so you got to fill out about 20 pieces of paper before you go do it, and
Oh, yeah.
have a safety, have a safety briefing, and it was ridiculous. So it would take you about half the night to do one little job that would take normally somebody 5 minutes to run out and do if you didn't have all the paperwork,
Hmm.
red tape, so to speak, in a government job. But it was ridiculous. But most of the time we sat around there. It sucks. It sucks working a 12-hour shift and sitting around half of it.
Well, and damn, I mean, like 12-hour shifts, that's most of your fucking day gone, I mean, you
Yeah,
get, you barely get to, you go home, you barely get to have any type of dinner or fun time or whatever. You just basically go home, eat, go to sleep, and then do it all over again.
yeah. Yeah, the only good thing about it is it was a DuPont style shift. It was called a DuPont schedule, and basically you worked. Well, you had a rotating shift. You had to, it was like a swing shift. You worked one week, you worked the nights, and next week you worked the days. But you had an entire week off at a time each month, so you only worked about 13 or 14 days a month. So,
Mm.
but you work like 4 days on, and you'd have like 3 days off, and then you'd work
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 days on, and have 1 or 2 days off. It was always rotating, but it was still those days you were there. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, that sounds awesome," but it wears on you when you're just sitting around doing nothing, because when you're in the job, when you're at the work side, it's just slow. You just sit there, and it's just like I hate that. I hate that so
Yeah.
much.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I didn't, like I was saying, I didn't really complain at that. I didn't complain at that job at all, just because they paid as well. So
Oh yeah, definitely. Did you end up getting the RoboCop Arrow release 4K?
no, no.
No.
I seen some people advertising it, but I didn't.
I got
I
it,
didn't
but it
buy it.
didn't show up yet.
I've seemed like I've got 2 or 3 versions of it. I don't have it on 4K, obviously, but I've got like several versions of it on Blu-ray, like a couple of different Blu-ray versions, I believe.
I think there's like 2 different Blu-ray versions. Yeah.
Trying to think of the version I have on Blu-ray. I might have that Arrow. They might have an Arrow release of it on Blu-ray.
There is an Arrow that was
Yeah.
from last year or the year before.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think
this year they got the 4K coming out, and I ordered it through Best Buy, so I did a pre-order on that one. But it said it was supposed to be here today, but nothing showed up.
yeah, I've just been pretty much ordering like some older movies, the stuff I've kind of been into lately. I haven't been keeping up a lot with the recent releases for some reason. I just the last 6 months or so, I quit doing it because it was kind of like I've told you before. I was kind of, I felt like when I was trying to buy a bunch of stuff each week,
Hmm.
mainly just for the channel and things like that, and I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like trying to compete with other channels, and because there's just always people out there that can afford to buy everything, and I just didn't. I didn't. There's already a bunch of people out there who do those type of channels where they just present the new stuff every week.
No, yeah.
There's plenty of them out there. There's no use trying to make another channel to compete with them. So, anyways, the
Yeah.
stuff I'm most interested in is the older stuff. But I
Well, I
did get a.
mean,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say that. I mean, like out of newer titles and stuff, I mean, this one's new. It's the sequel to Coming to America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I haven't
I,
watched it yet. I might watch that tonight, actually, after you and I get off.
I haven't I haven't seen that. I don't know. I like the first one. A couple of things I
Yeah.
did. A couple of things I did buy, and I'm gonna make a video about '90s disaster movies. I haven't made it yet though, but I did pick up this
Oh, Armageddon. Nice. I have the
and
soundtrack.
and
Oh, see, I have Deep Impact on DVD and I mean to upgrade it. It's just that's a title I get the feeling if I buy it, all of a sudden 4K announced.
yeah. I also picked up Dante's Peak, which I have all of those on Laserdisc, but never did buy on Blu-ray. I'm not sure about DVD, but I have them on Laserdisc, and I never had them on Blu-ray, so I just picked them up. They were cheap too, and I've been finding a lot of things on Amazon lately that are cheap, like $10 discs. Just a lot
Yeah.
of stuff. But actually, Dante's Peaks, as far as the disasters movies, are probably my favorite of all of them.
I like that movie myself. That's the one with Pierce Brosnan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, I enjoy that movie. I don't know what it was about that one, but that one I thoroughly enjoyed.
Well, I watched the special features on it, and they had a They had kind of pretty long documentary they made of the making of,
Hmm.
and the guy. I'm sorry, I don't know the guy who directed it. He's directed a bunch of other '90s kind of action movies, but
Hmm.
I found out the guy that directed it. He had previously, I guess, before he became a director, he had been a geologist, so he knew the lingo of volcanology, and so
Huh.
he hired a volcanologist to, so all the all the all the writing in it, all the
Yeah.
it's fairly accurate to actual geological
Hmm.
terminology. So I think that's what makes it kind of. After finding that out, I had a little more respect for the movie.
Yeah.
There was something always I kind of liked about it. There's something, just the setting of it. It's just pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool how the CG's pretty good for it too, because there's a lot of practical mixed with, there's still a lot of practical in that movie, being the '90s,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of models and
Oh, definitely.
integrated with the CG. So it's a pretty decent looking movie, because the whole mountain, it's obviously they shot it somewheres in, I believe they shot it in Idaho. I think some maybe Idaho, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I might be wrong about that, but I think they shot it in Idaho,
I don't
because
know why I have the name Montana.
it's possible it was in Montana as well. I can't remember, but they scouted like everywhere for a small town that was kind of on the edge of a like a volcano or some kind of large
Yeah, some
mountain.
type of natural disaster. Yeah.
Yeah, and they couldn't find anything, or they couldn't find anything in America. So
Mm-hmm.
they found a town that kind of had, they found a small town that kind of had everything that they needed, and they actually, the whole volcano's added in. It's a completely added in feature. That's not even, doesn't exist at all in the area. There is mountains in the area, but there's no volcano, gigantic volcano. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. But that little town they found, it's like a mountain town, but it actually has an interstate running through it. So you know how it has like the interstate scenes
Yeah.
where that's actually in there. They added a couple places to it where to add the feature where it collapses, but they added that to it in like the on ramps and stuff. But
Oh yeah.
there's an actual interstate that runs through that little small town. It was pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man, I miss practical, visual cinematography for movies nowadays because it's like everything's made with a green screen. It's like, yeah, they'll pick some locations, but most of the time those locations will have green screen surrounding the area to make it look more different than the actual surrounding itself.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of sad. Like, example, Red Sonja right here, the cinematography, the landscape kind of stuff. Oh my God,
Yeah.
amazing. And they don't do that really anymore. Or like the opening of The Shining, how they have the helicopter, somebody filming, in the sky. They don't
Yeah.
even do that stuff anymore. I mean, everything's drones, which is a
Yeah.
safer way, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there's something, either it could be nostalgia or just me ranting.
No, I agree. They it's just something we have missing. I don't know how much modeling gets done anymore. Not near as much as it used to.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, like there's some car, even like in like Dante's Peak. There's the scene like I was talking about where the on ramp collapses onto the interstate. That scene there, like all that stuff's just like miniatures. Like they shot it, like quarter scale or whatever.
Yeah.
And the cars on it are fake, but you can't tell really. You can kind of tell in it,
Yeah.
like one car, but for the most part they look pretty good.
Did you have
Uh,
this in your collection? Because I recently got it, but I don't have the actual like package set for it, just the standard Flash Gordon 4K.
Yeah,
You do have that, but is
yeah.
it just this like this or
No, I think I actually got the hard
the
box.
hard
Yeah,
box copy?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, because I
I,
saw that it was over at Best Buy, and I was like, it finally in stock over at my location, and I didn't have it. And I'm like, hey, as long as it has a slip, I'm okay with it. I don't really need the big old box set.
are your targets? Do they like my target? At least one of the targets in Lexington here nearby me. They they like pretty much got rid of all their movies. Like the only thing that's left is like the new release kiosk area. They don't. I don't. And they have like one tiny section for like I think some other like box sets, but they don't have the big row like one row anymore like they used to.
They've definitely shrunk it down at my location, but probably not as small as yours. I know with ours, they still have like the new release, and then they have the ones that were within like maybe a few weeks to a few months, maybe. And then they have some Best Buy Steelbooks that they sell there now, and 4K movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, and it's not as big, of course, but they definitely cut it down. But you still almost have everything there in format wise.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Best Buy's kind of stayed the same in my locations for a while now. They haven't really shrunk it any. It's shrunk way back from where it used to be, but
Mm-hmm.
now we got two Best Buys, so one of them's got a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger than the others,
Mm-hmm.
but neither one I never can really go and find a whole lot. I mean,
Do you have a FYE near you?
yeah, it's in the mall. It's in the Fayette Mall, but I don't ever go to it much anymore. I need to. I just haven't been there in a while. I was back in the summers last time I was there, and I was looking at kind of their toy stuff
That
at
could
the
be,
time.
but that could be a future video for you.
Yeah,
Like, kind of take your viewers on an adventure and say, "This is something I have not done in a long fucking time,"
yeah, yeah,
and then be surprised by what you actually find. You know what I mean?
yeah. The reason I never went there a whole lot, I never did find good deals. I always thought they were kind of priced. They were kind of price tied, but I haven't been there in a while. I don't know. They may have deals now.
I was about to say because anytime David from Durant Cinema, his channel, because he goes to FYE in his videos too,
Yeah.
and I swear some of the prices seem like they're not bad prices, especially because they do a lot of steelbooks, Blu-ray steelbooks. So if you want to like build up your collection a little bit, you could probably do that, and for reasonable pricing,
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah, I can't think of what I have a FYE steelbook. I haven't got many from them. I have one over there. I can't remember what it was now though. I
Well,
can't
it's
remember.
funny that freaking steelbook. Here, I'll show you one. I'm sure you have it possibly. Let me grab it. There, here we go. Come here. Ferris Bueller.
Yeah,
This exact looking steelbook was at FYE and then became Best Buy's new look.
really.
Yeah, basically the same freaking thing. I was like,
Yeah.
really? They could have done it a little bit more. But I'm glad I got it because I didn't even have it on the Blu-ray yet anyway.
Yeah, I was trying to think what
Yeah, but for newer titles, I mean, I have the Godfather 4K trilogy now. I do have that Hunger Games steelbook set that came out.
Yeah, I couldn't. I like I was saying, I'm not a massive fan of them, but I considered buying it because my Best Buy, local Best Buy they usually go to, they had several copies of it, and I might buy it if I might buy it here in the future if they still have it.
Well, I don't know if it was going on now or maybe later, but I think there was a sale or is a sale going on it right now.
Is there? What I was waiting for is a sale to go on because I don't have any interest in really getting like Shang-Chi or I don't really want to. I'll be perfectly honest. I don't want to give Disney my money anymore.
Well, wait, did you ever get to see Shang-Chi yet or no?
No.
No?
But I was going to buy it, and I was thinking about buying it, but I was waiting for it to go on sale, like the steelbooks, because like both of my Best Buys forever they had a big bunch of steelbooks sitting on the stands, and then I don't know if they ran a sale on them because I went in one day. I was like, well, if I see that, I might go ahead and pick it up, or
Yeah.
or it might have been for the internals or something like that. And I was like, well, I'm gonna pick that up, and then when I went in, they were all gone. Like I think they
Oh,
had some 4Ks, but no steelbooks, and I was like, well, I'm not really And I think the steelbook was like $30 or something. It just for the, or, excuse
Yeah,
me,
they
not
they
the
charge ridiculous in their steelbooks. I'm not gonna
no
lie.
no
I
excuse
just ended
me.
up getting the regular slipcover.
No, that's what I meant. I meant the regular slip cover was high. I thought it was like way up there, $29.99 or something.
I got it on sale.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
know.
when I found it, it was like $22.99.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna buy them or not.
Well, if I ever come across a deal, I'll let you know. You
Yeah,
ever use
you know.
Mercari?
Mm-mm. Is that pretty good?
Oh yeah, it's like another version of eBay if you really think about it. Kind of like thrift store shopping in a sense. Resellers sometimes
Yeah.
brand new as well. Some people kind of use it as a source of income in a way, but you can find some really good deals on there sometimes too.
Cool.
So it's very possible you could find that thing for like maybe $15.
Have to look for them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like I said, if I come across one, I'll share the actual link to you.
What steelbooks have been announced here lately? I probably missed like is the Batman? Has it been? Can you pre-order
Batman.
that yet? Can you pre-order that yet? Or
I think you can. I think you can pre-order it now. Um, I know Spider-Man: No Way Home is supposed to come out next week with a steelbook.
hello, Ben Buster.
What's up?
Let's go.
What is up?
Not much. We're just kind of, we don't have really a topic tonight. We're just kind of winging it a little bit. So we might talk about a little bit of everything tonight. Who knows?
Basically,
We're just talking, trying to talk about physical media, but for the most part,
if we veer off, we veer off. Oh well.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of stuff that we would talk about probably could stir right into a movie subject of some sort too.
Oh, I did pick up a copy of The Crow. I never owned it on Blu-ray.
Oh really?
Yeah, I just got the regular Blu-ray version. I didn't pick up
Oh
anything
shit.
special. So
Yeah, because they had re-released it apparently, either earlier this year or last year, one or the other.
yeah. I always liked it. It was always a great movie. I just never did buy it on Blu-ray for some reason. This is one of those movies that kind of passed me by.
You didn't even have it on DVD?
Uh, I don't know if I have it on DVD or not. I don't think so.
I got both the DVD and the Blu-ray.
Because
That's what's in that custom one that I have. Yeah.
some of those movies that I saw in the theater, and then I turned around and we're doing good. I'm doing good. Ben
I'm
Buster.
doing good.
How are you doing?
Thanks for joining.
If there's anything you want to talk about, anything you want us to talk about, or something, just
Comment down below.
yeah, just send us a suggestion, and we'll try to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
definitely.
it. Anything, because you probably know as much as we do, or at least
Probably.
with me.
Oh, by the
So,
way, I might have. It's not 100% confirmed. I won't really know until like the 13th or 14th, but which is what, like in a few days. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Joey Kramer, who played David in the movie Flight of the Navigator, might
Awesome.
actually join us.
That'd be awesome. I love that movie. I love to talk to him.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. I thought about like the whole doing a giveaway thing. I know Jody doesn't have the movie club. I do. I just don't think I'd be able to get it in time because their shipping is not that fast.
Yeah, I have a copy of it, but I don't think I want to give it away. I forget how
Don't give it away.
I forget how I got that. I don't have the movie club. Now that's the only thing that sucks about Disney. I don't like modern Disney, but I'd like to have some of those old ones. Like I have Old Yeller. I bought
I
it.
would definitely get that if I could. Yeah.
I bought it through somebody. It has a slip case and everything, and
I got Pollyanna
that's pretty cool.
and Return to Oz. I got those two from the movie club, as well as
Oh yeah.
Flight of the Navigator, Man of the House with Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Chevy Chase, if you know that one.
Yeah.
I think that might be it for just the Disney Blu-ray, special editions that you can only get through the movie club.
Yeah, I like to kind of pick up. I think they released the Love Bug and all that stuff on
Oh
Blu-ray.
yeah.
I have the DVD sets of them. I
Well,
have them
see, what
on
this is what I
Laserdisc
like about
too.
eBay is because even if you don't see it, like if you can't buy it through like Best Buy or Target or any of those places,
Yeah,
eBay will have people who either have extra copies and they're selling it brand new or used, just depending. I usually try to find the people that have the like new condition, as in, yeah, wrappers off, maybe watched once or twice,
yeah,
and that's about it.
yeah. I haven't used eBay. Well, I use it fairly often, but I haven't used it as much. At one time. I bought a bunch of laser discs through eBay. I was buying them like crazy. That's why I got such a buildup of them.
Oh,
So,
makes
so
sense. Yeah, I
that's
need to
when I.
continue my soundtrack collection.
Yeah, it's kind of. I just never did take care of my CDs very much because I always had them in my whatever vehicle I had, and I always would whatever storage method I had in my car at the time. I
Yeah.
just didn't store them very. I just didn't take care of them, so they all got scratched up, or I lost the jewel case to them, or it's kind of weird. It's for somebody that likes music as much as I did. I never had a lot of respect for for that
You
kind
know
of
what?
physical
I was
media.
like that with my movies at one point. Shit you not. I as much as I
Yeah,
love movies and I like to collect, I'm more careful now than I've ever been compared to my past self with movies of collecting. I'd be that person, left them on the floor, didn't pick it up, didn't put it away, you know, and risked the whole breaking a tape or breaking a DVD of some sort because it was on the floor. I had no
yeah,
care. I didn't even used to care about slip covers either.
yeah. Well, like I was telling you, I used to have like the Angus soundtrack. I know I had that on the soundtrack. It's weird.
Hmm.
I might still have the disc somewheres, but the jewel case I definitely don't have.
I am
I
gonna try to get Charlie on if I can. I
yeah,
messaged him last night just saying how's it going. He read my message, but he didn't respond. And if he was busy, he was busy. But you know,
yeah,
I didn't want him to think that I was just bugging him
yeah.
because I consider
It's,
him kind of like a friend in a sense, not like say a close friend, but a friend.
well, speaking of, I need to. I never did text what's her name and tell her we went having the show last week, but
Oh, you.
She never did text me and say, "Oh, we're you know,
She probably forgot herself.
yeah." She was having some kind of. She said she was having some kind of surgery done,
Oh.
and she that's why she couldn't. That's why at the time when I asked her, she couldn't do it then. But so she's probably forgot. I'll get a hold of her again. She's it's a Fawn.
Hmm.
God, I never can remember how you finish her name. It's Fawn Harvey. Harvey, yeah. But I'm Dylan Fawn Harvey. I'm sorry, but
Dylan.
she's Fawn Harvey.
Huh.
FAWN Fawn.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Fawn.
and yeah, she's just a horror actress. She does this independent horror movies.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
guessing maybe you discovered her through like Lana in a sense.
No. A long time ago. Do you remember? I'm blanking on his name right now. I haven't talked to him in forever. He used to have a channel. You remember the guy that was interviewing the very first. He'll kick me if he ever watches this. He'll kick me.
Gary?
Gary, yeah, Gary's Movie Emporium. Remember
Yeah.
Gary? He knew her. He talked to her, and he actually he got well, he said he was going to interview her, and he asked me to do it with him.
Huh.
So that's how I got. So we interviewed her at one time a long time ago before we started
Oh, I
this.
think I remember coming across your video of that.
It wasn't a very good interview because I didn't I only like wrote out like 10 or 12 questions to ask her
Hmm.
because I was actually expecting him to do a little more
On his part.
yeah, to be a little more interactive with her because he was the one wanting to interview her.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't like have anything. So I was kind of like kind of winging it, and you know how I am about winging it. So,
Oh
so
yeah.
that's why I was kind of excited to have her on with you guys because we could provide a little more. And Gary's fine. It's just that's how he is. You know, he's like me. He's just not a natural interviewer. So it.
It's in all honesty, I don't think it's so much the term being an interviewer. It's just knowing how to conversate with someone, if anything.
Yeah.
Because just be yourself, have a conversation. If
Yeah.
you got questions, you got questions. I mean,
Yeah.
people sometimes forget, just be comfortable. Like, there's
Yeah.
no reason to be scared. There's no reason to be nervous. I mean, other than if you're starstruck, I can agree with that part. But I mean, if there's no starstruckness or anything like that, just
Well,
hey,
it
how's it
was.
going?
Yeah, it's not that. Not with her. I mean, she's an actress, but she's not. I don't get. I wouldn't get like that with even some. If we had a big name actor on here, I just.
Well, Joey
I wouldn't.
Kramer technically
Yeah.
would be a big name actor if we got him.
Yeah. 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 I wouldn't be like that. I don't have like. I don't try to put celebrities in that kind of light. Because they don't want to be. A lot of them don't want to be put in that light. Some do, and some don't. A lot of them just want to be treated normally.
I mean, the ones I've talked to seem pretty level-headed.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you. I don't know if you can. You might be able to access it through one of your streaming, but where I've got Hulu now, I pick up some of I get to see some of the TV shows that they're on cable, but I think it's on Vice, the Vice channel, I believe. I don't know if you're familiar with that cable channel. It's called Vice, I believe.
Not
I
not
might
a hundred
be
percent.
I might be wrong about that, but you've heard of Dark Side of the Ring, that series. They do.
That kind of sounds familiar, but I'm not 100%.
They do. They just do like kind of more the dark side of wrestling. Just like stories.
Oh,
Like
I
they
do know of it.
they do that kind of stories. But they got a new series called Dark Side of the '90s, and it's just
Oh,
different stories from the '90s. It's really good. I watched all of it.
hmm.
They do. Trying to think of all the different subjects they did, but they did. Well, they did one like on the Jerry Springer, and the whole influence of all how those shows came to be, and the
Yeah.
future influence that kind of started everything, and kind of the things that came out of that whole show, things like that. But they
Yeah.
did they did one on the like the Viper Club for some weird reason. There's one episode just on the Viper Club, the '90s.
Oh,
uh,
the
That's
Viper Room
yeah, the Viper Room where where
where River Phoenix
Riv-
passed away.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty interesting. They just do kind of off the wall subjects for some reason. They did one on Beanie Babies.
Meh,
It's just weird. I mean, yeah, it's just you would like it. I think you'd like it a lot.
maybe. I
Because
mean, I know that I haven't checked it out yet. I think I've come across it, and I was gonna watch it, but then I found something else. I think that had to do with Nickelodeon, and it was
well,
like a documentary of it or something like that. I can't remember, but there was something I was gonna watch that had to do with Nickelodeon in the '90s.
yeah, yeah, that kind of stuff. I tend to like. That's pretty cool. People interview. They did one on what was the music? Well, they did one on. I guess it was kind of about hip hop. The rise of gangster rap. No, it was kind of centered around the East versus West battleground, and the eventual deaths of Biggie and Tupac. So
Uh-huh.
that kind of the whole story behind that. That's a pretty cool one. The last one's the kind of the internet. They did it on the internet, the rise of
Yeah.
the internet in the '90s. But oddly enough, centered like most of the story. They talked about pets.com at the end. You probably don't remember. I don't know if you were, I mean, you're not much younger than me, but you probably remember pets.com had that sock puppet, and it got like big. They had that sock puppet that would talk and they stuff
Had
like
the
that. I don't know.
big ol' eyes or whatever.
Yeah, it had like an eye patch, but it was like their mascot for pets.com. And they were one of those companies that they were just one of those early internet companies that they got rich fast. but they really didn't actually make a lot of money. They got big enough to become a stock they were part of the big bubble that burst in the late 90s. So
Hmm.
the dot-com burst is what they call it, and a lot of people lost a lot of money investing in them. Yeah, it was kind of funny that Amazon was like Jeff Bezos like actually invested like 50% into that company before
Really?
at one time. Yeah, it's kind
Whew.
of crazy.
That is crazy. Didn't even know about it.
Yeah, it was just kind of the beginning of all the the tech startup companies. You have all people always talking about they got a tech startup. It's kind of the beginning of all this stuff. Pretty interesting
Yeah.
episode.
Excuse me.
I
I'm
just
guessing our viewership is not really that up.
not a whole lot at the moment. I'm sorry I didn't get to advertise this week. Today. I was been busy all day.
And you know what? This stream in itself is very last minute, and it doesn't surprise me if nobody's watching anyway.
Yeah. Well, we've had a few, so it's not been bad for just coming on like this. So it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, kind of
It's
catch
just
up a little
fun
bit.
anyways. It's pretty fun anyway. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
but no, I like the for me, obviously I was born in the late 70s and I was a child of the 80s, so I have fond memories of the 80s, but I really remember the 90s because especially with the grunge music scene and everything because that was like when I was 13 years old. So that was like right whenever my mind was being cognitive of music, so I was starting to form my own opinion on music. So that was like the perfect time for that for that to come around because I really got into
Hmm.
that kind of music. So
I mean, I'm technically a child of the '80s and the '90s. You know, I was born in '84, so
yeah,
I was an infant slash toddler from most of '80s, and then became a kid in the
yeah,
'90s and a teenager
yeah,
in the late '90s.
yeah. I just remember that's why you'll see a lot of my movies. I have like a lot of '90s. I have '90s movies because I saw a lot of these in the theater because I've got my license in '95.
Hmm.
Yeah, '95. So after I got that's really when I got really into watching movies for the most part. I'd always watched movies on VHS, but that's when I got into going and seeing movies because I just would just go see
Going to the
movies.
show to see a movie.
Yeah, I just went, every now and then I went on dates to see movies, but most of the time I just went by myself and saw movies like Friday night after school. Just went and seen
Hmm.
movies. Yeah. So,
I think I've had like maybe 2 dates total that were actually theater bound, and then some of the hookups where you kind of have a little with a fling or whatever have
yeah.
been at the movies in general, like it's a group of friends or whatever, guys and girls, and um we were all watching a movie and she goes to grab my hand and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll grab your hand because she's cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
But most of the time, any time that I had taken a girl was only twice.
Yeah. Well, I see movies. I used to see movies so frequently. I just went whenever I wanted to go, so I
Yeah.
not worried about asking somebody out. Just went. Even sometimes I had friends that went. But most of the time I didn't because there's a lot of times people just don't like seeing movies as frequently as I did. At least not in the theater. So
I think a lot of the movies I watched were mainly through HBO. I know that I would watch them on, like, say, the USA Network, TBS, or TNT, but they were always edited. And then you would see scenes that you didn't see before, and you're like, what the hell is this? Because you almost think it's a different movie. And then I didn't
yeah,
know anything about deleted scenes or extras or whatever at that point because I'm a kid.
yeah,
But you find out quick, especially through HBO, because they had specials where it's like on the set with the movie Twister. HBO used to do that.
yeah,
I miss that. That was fun.
yeah, yeah. I remember. I remember the one for Independence Day they had. I don't remember if it's HBO had it, but I remember that one being big right before Independence Day came out. I don't know why I remember that for.
I
I
think
think
HBO did it. Yeah.
yeah, I remember all of my friends and everything. We were hyped up to go see that movie. I remember
Oh,
we came
same here.
we came out of that movie so pumped up, like and you kind
Welcome
of
to
look,
Earth.
yeah, yeah, the big blockbusters, the
And he
'90s
had to do it to
blockbuster,
Chris Rock.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't talked to you about that, have I? I talked to
No,
Mike
and it was
about it on
that
Twitter.
happened while we were live.
Yeah, yeah, I got off.
That's kind of
Then
funny.
I seen that. Yeah, because I was actually thinking at some point I was going to try to bring it up live during our cast,
Stream.
and I just never did. I never did do it, and because I wasn't going to be able to get it because I was afraid it would get booted for the rights
Yeah,
and
the
all
whole
that stuff. So
copyright strike shit. Yeah.
I don't know. They technically are not supposed to be able to do that because it's a public stream. It's a public broadcast, not a public stream. But
Yeah.
but
I think you can only get away with it on Twitch, not YouTube.
yeah, I'm not sure. YouTube's weird about stuff like that.
Yeah, because in order to do like what they call a watch party, they use Twitch for that.
I seen some other guys on YouTube doing it after I got off here. Some guys, I think you could, as long as you're not streaming it through certain channels that are
Hmm.
if you're streaming it through, maybe I don't know if NBC has their own. If NBC, you might be able to stream it through it. I don't know. I don't know how you get away with it,
Well,
yeah. What did you think about it though in general?
well, at first I thought maybe it was staged. At first, only because the way he walked up to him looked like a funny walk,
Yeah,
like "Oh, you in trouble," kind of thing.
yeah,
And he actually slapped the shit out of him.
yeah,
And it threw me off guard, of course. And then finding out that it wasn't a fake, I'm like, okay, well, you always talk about positivity, this and that and whatnot, or whatever. He makes a G.I. Jane reference movie
yeah,
joke,
yeah,
and she gets offensive when you were laughing.
yeah,
He was laughing at the joke, and he just
yeah,
looked at her. She looked at him like, I'm pissed. You gonna let him talk to me that way, kind of thing?
yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's real. I know there's been a lot of debate if it's not, but the thing, actually, even the slap, I could even see maybe being staged. Just looking at it. But what makes it real is when he goes and sits back down and all that emotion for screaming, keep your keep my
Keep my
wife's name
wife's
on.
name out your fucking mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's real. That's what makes me feel. That's what made me feel like that it was definitely not staged. It was that emotion because
Hmm.
that's. But he's stirred up a shitstorm for himself.
And it's funny because I
But
like Will Smith.
yeah, but the whole stuff, all the stuff with his, their marriage and everything's just
Yeah, open
fucked,
marriage.
just fucked.
Do you
Well,
know
yeah,
why
and
they're still married, though, right?
because he's probably a bitch. That's why.
No, 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 no. Because remember before Jada, he had another woman.
Yeah,
He had his first son and everything, right? And originally he wanted Jada before her. And the thing is that I can't remember if they were married or not. I can't remember that part. But he straight up says that he does not believe in divorce.
yeah,
It's like a moral compass for him.
yeah,
And he is one of those kind of like guys like, no, if I'm going to love the shit out of you, I'm going to love the shit out of you. I don't
mm,
believe in, like, say, secondhand nature, so to speak. If something didn't work out, why don't we work it out? Let's be mature about this. Let's actually be adults, but still have good hearts,
yeah,
And that's what I believe is the reason why it's called an open marriage, because Jada is realizing that she does want a divorce, Will. As much as she loves him, she wants a divorce. But she doesn't do it out of respect for him.
I guess. I don't. Yeah, I don't know really.
But I'm like, but where's the respect? Because I mean, I don't get it. Like you're having an affair with like one of your friend, like one of your kids' friends. You know,
Yeah.
come on, Jada.
Yeah.
God damn. That shit
Yeah.
kind of gets
Did
on my nerves a little bit.
I don't know the full con. I don't know everything that. Did you see Jim Carrey's reaction to it?
Yeah, he was pissed. He was
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah. What he says was kind of true actually, and I don't generally like really behind the scenes. I don't really like him much anymore because he's
It's
kind of a whack
he's
job,
getting
you know.
older, so his
Yeah.
mentality's going to be a lot different than it used to be.
But what he said was true, though. He's like
Oh
he's
yeah.
making us look like fools, you know. He said making us look like more fools than people already felt about us, basically.
Hmm.
And and I just think Hollywood's getting such a bad name because they talk about this. They talk about that in the Dark Side of the '90s. Like somebody makes a comment. I
Hmm.
think it's actually in the episode where they're talking about excuse me, about the Viper room,
Oh yeah.
and but they're talking about so they're interviewing some of the people that went to the club because basically the Viper room was just it was mainly when after Johnny Depp bought it, he made it almost like a speakeasy almost for celebrities. It would
Well,
always be
a
full of
place to
celebrities.
relax,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and but one of the guys they're interviewing there, that he's talking about, he said he said L.A.'s not L.A. anymore. It's not like L.A. of the '90s or '80s. He said it used to be that celebrities being a celebrity was just the byproduct of being talented.
Oh
You just
yeah.
got. But he said he's really more referencing people like Paris Hilton and those kind of reality type celebrities.
Yeah.
Those type of people that the rise of the early 2000s, that whole all that stuff that went on in the early 2000s, the rise of that type of celebrity. He said the town's completely changed now. He said it's not, which I don't live there, I don't know, but you probably know better
Well,
than me because I'm sure you've been there a few times. you know
not as much as you'd like to think, just because I live here, in
yeah
California. But I've been
yeah
through I mean, not through. Sorry, I'm trying to say like I have been to LA like really, really less than a handful of times,
yeah
and been to San Diego like once. Um, yeah, it. Trust me, living out here in California costs money. Just to go on a walk, it seems like you have to have money. Because what if you encounter this? What if you encounter that?
so
Shit like
what
that.
is gas out there right now?
Well, at my girlfriend's work, it's excuse me, like over $5 for sure.
Yeah, so
I don't know
it's
what it's like for you over there, but
the last time I got gas, it was three. It's been a lot higher, but it's like 3.82 or something. The last time I got it, but it's been up to four, but it's dropped down
it's
to.
cheaper than where I'm at.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know a couple of people that's actually left California and moved like to Texas or other places, and like they say it's like they always joke, say, yeah, I just cut my expenses in half from moving out of state.
Yeah.
So
In other words, be happy actually where you're at.
yeah, well, I did when I was a kid. Like when I was younger, I had never had any interest in being an actor, but I always kind of wanted to be in the film industry, but like
It's
behind
never
the
too late,
camera,
John.
a cameraman or something, some stupid job like that. I never wanted to be an actor, but yeah, I'm not moving to LA these days. Hell
No, but
no.
you don't
No.
necessarily have to move just to be a part of it. I mean,
Oh
everywhere
yeah,
needs something.
yeah. Well, that's gonna hurt Hollywood too, especially with them acting like the way they are now. It's
Well,
definitely
no,
gonna
but I
put.
mean, if you were to find, say, college students that are in the arts in themselves, like whether it's acting or music, you could be that person that says, hey, I'm really good when it comes to, editing. I know how to,
Yeah,
like, say, what's it called? That like time lapse. I know how to do that. I know how to do this. You know, like you can literally throw out your knowledge and make
Yeah.
a name for yourself just where you're at right now, and you don't have to move to California.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
do it. It
I
just
told
it just depends on you if you really want to do it or not. I mean, it depends on whether you want to be known for more like movies themselves or like say music videos or both or commercials, like whatever you
Yeah.
feel more obligated to do
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. But you know, that was just, you know, just kind of a pipe dream. But I always liked California just because of the grandeur, if you know what I'm saying. Just the,
Well, if you were to move out here, I would suggest moving where I live because it's one of the cheaper places to live
yeah.
in the state.
Yeah, I won't be moving anywhere too soon until I get a kidney, but I'm not going to.
But you know what I mean,
I
though.
won't. You know, I'm not. You know, I know what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not going to be moving anytime soon. But it's just, yeah, I don't. You know, realistically, if one of these days I would like to move to the Southwest, but I don't think I want to move to California. I like some of the other states.
Arizona,
I don't. Yeah, I don't know about Arizona. Yeah, New Mexico, Arizona area, somewhere where it's warm all the time.
Texas.
Maybe. I don't know. So many people are moving to Texas.
How about Florida?
Yeah, I don't. I don't. I like Florida. Every time you go there, you're like, man, I kind of wish I lived here, but I've never lived there through a hurricane. So
True.
only way
But
I've
you lived
kind
through
of,
tornadoes.
yeah, but not personally. You know, we just tornadoes aren't like a hurricane where it kind of encompasses the whole state. You know, or a big chunk of land. You know, it just kind
Just
of
think
hits.
of
It's
a
kind of
hurricane.
like pinpoints where it wants to hit. You know,
I was about to say,
knock
because
on
with
wood.
tornadoes, are technically just a smaller version of a hurricane.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think tornadoes actually cause more damage
Well, because they're
for the.
able to get around more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because
Well,
with hurricanes, it's on one path.
I don't know if I don't know if that's true. Actually, I think the destructive force of a tornado is more than a hurricane, but it's more pinpointed. You know, it's more centralized. The damage, not so much
Yeah.
widespread.
If you ever want to update your Twister movie at all, Blu-ray, there is a newly remastered one that you can get from I think Amazon Germany.
Yeah. Is it just another Blu-ray? There's no 4K.
It's a new remastered Blu-ray.
Okay.
I don't know what scan it has, from what I understand, because one of the guys that I watch on YouTube sometimes, not all the time, of course, but he calls his channel Euphoria Pictures. His name is Heath. He's from Ireland, basically, and he does a
Yeah.
lot of movie collecting as well, like us. And he got the Twister and displayed it on his channel. If I go to his channel, I'll share that video with you so you can see.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I thought about getting it.
because pretty much the 4K is a no-go at this point, isn't it?
Well, from what I understood, that was just a rumor. Like, it was more of like it's very up in the air of what's going to happen. Like, there's a new audio mix, but not actual 4K mastering or whatever you want to call it. But yeah,
Was that a Fox? Is that a Fox release?
it is a Fox.
Yeah. Who knows what Disney will do with it?
But you know what, though? Disney could make money off of just giving the rights to someone else and say, we can get a certain percentage, 5%. You guys do this.
That's what I hope the studios do, especially if physical media starts fizzling out more and more. I'm not trying to be one of those people say, "Oh, I think it's happening," but it's going to happen eventually. But hopefully, they just start giving the rights away and letting these people make the physical media.
People who actually care about physical media,
Yeah.
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 Because there's still going to be a market regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, because at least right now, the way media, at least the way storage is, it's going to be a long time before we have some kind of. I think it'll be a while before we have like a big boom boom in some kind of new technology that for mass media storage. So what I'm getting at is the streaming channels. What I've always envisioned with a streaming channel is somebody, of course, it doesn't work like this because of rights, but somebody just have everything ever made on streaming. You just have access to everything, just a giant library, like the Library of Congress streaming channel, and they just have like everything ever made. You know, basically every movie ever made. Of course,
Yeah.
that requires massive databases, so that's why they. That's really why a lot of like Netflix can only have so much, just because they've got to when they expand,
Yeah, they have to cycle out. Yeah.
yeah, they have to build bigger and bigger storage. So yeah,
Well, it's not, and it's not just building bigger storage. It's more of like, okay, we're gonna take this off the platform, and let's say HBO Max have it for the time being.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, it's a massive rights issue, so it'd be
Yeah.
hard for one platform to have everything, but it's just a pipe dream,
Yeah.
But I'd rather have the physical media. But that's what I'm saying. If you're going to have something like that, I like to have access to everything.
Oh, definitely.
Because that's why I collect so much. At least I collect all the stuff that I want.
And it's funny. I mean, I have a decent collection, especially for the type of place I live in. I only have 2 media towers, and then I got my entertainment center right here that has all my shit in it. And some of it is on, like, say, a side table where it's kind of display look. And but I'm not, like, say, the world's biggest collector. At one point, I had the mindset of, like, I want to grab everything just so I could say I have it, even if I hadn't seen it. And you're like, hey, do you have this? I do. Just automatically. And then I realized, why do that? It's like, as much as you love movies, why do that?
Well, I mean, if I had the money, I would. Did I interrupt you in the middle?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I thought you were stopped.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Now, if I had the money and had the money to build the kind of either house or some kind of storage building that I could just buy everything, kind of be like a Cinema Sickness, and have just lots and lots of stuff. Now I know he has a lot of stuff because he owns a store where he sells a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So he has access to getting a lot of weird things. But I would try to be an archivist like that and collect everything I could possible. But I just don't have the room for it, and I don't have the money for it, obviously. So I just don't. I can't do that. So. But I would like, even if the crap I don't really want, I would like to have it just to have an archive of it. But I'm not going to buy that stuff when there's other things I'd rather buy, and I just don't have the space for it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it's like you said, if I had the money myself, I would have my own little cinema area, where I would have big ass screen, like a theater in a sense. Like, you'd have one theater room. Sorry, I'll take that back. You'd have one theater room. And then the other room would have all of your physical media shit, and
I think we have the same dream.
Yeah, technically. But yeah, and then the type of screen I would want, I don't think I'd want to do a projector, because after watching Sonic today, I was thinking, like, is this really like the latest in technology for this theater and stuff like that? Because it's a luxury theater, reclining seats, you can buy booze and shit like that now. And I was just like, I have better picture quality on my TV than the fucking theater.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I'd rather probably just get a really big, giant, like 4K TV, like maybe 100-inch, or if possible, maybe bigger.
The one thing that are big right now are the 4K laser projectors, the short throws, the ones that you don't have to, you set them like literally right next to the wall.
Yeah, right up against the wall, and it looks like it. Yeah.
And now they, I believe, have pretty good quality, the laser, but I haven't seen one personally.
I've
But
seen him on the phone, but I'm like, video wise, but I haven't seen him in
yeah.
person. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, there's stuff out there that we really do, I don't know the brands because I don't even bother looking stuff up because I can't afford it in a million years. So, but
Hmm.
there's stuff out there for that people put in these private theaters that are higher quality than what come in the movie theater these days. I
Yeah.
guarantee there are higher quality 4K projectors and 8K projectors, but it used to be. Of course, prices go down when there's more demand for it, obviously, but they used to be. I used to see projectors advertised for up in the $80,000 range. This is back in the early 2000s, for home theaters. So I mean, people are plunking, real serious people are plunking down big time money for these. So I'm sure there's high quality stuff out there because there's really high quality custom made audio equipment and things like that out there that's like that. And it's if you're a millionaire, big time millionaire, you can afford it, but
Oh yeah. I
I've
definitely want my own like little studio room too, because I'm a music person.
yeah.
So I would definitely want to do that. You know, for both music and videos, because then I can edit everything all at once.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Man, you just need to whenever you get you some money saved up, buy a good laptop with so you can do all this stuff and get you a good mic and you can do a lot. You can do a lot now on your laptop. I mean, all that stuff, so
That is true.
you don't really necessarily have to spend lights out on a microphone either. You can buy a couple $100 microphone or something pretty good these
Oh yeah, I
days,
can go to Guitar
or
Center and do
less,
that.
or less. They're cheaper now. Like a Rode microphone or something. Good
Hmm.
good condenser microphone.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know that I would
Uh,
definitely go to. I'd probably, yeah, definitely go to Guitar Center to do the microphone shopping for sure. I know they have editing software there too, if I wanted to buy it. Um, the one I have right now, KindMaster, I've been using the most for any type of editing that I have. Um, I shared your video, of course, that you made for me, the intro, and when I sent it to people individually first before I actually posted it,
mhm.
um, one of the guys was like, I don't think you really need that first 15 seconds. And I'm like, well, I like it, is what I told him. And he's like, well, no, it's cool. He's all like, no, it's cool. It's just like, it almost seems like it's unneeded. And you just need that one part that, like, where the heavy rock comes in.
Yeah. It's like two.
And,
It's kind of two different things. But you said you wanted that, and I'd already picked out that heavy rock part. That's what I had originally, and I had something different tagged onto the beginning of it, and then I added that onto it. So I had to add kind of that intro. I didn't know if you want something different, I can do whatever you want.
well, I'm not disappointed at all. I want to make that clear
Hmm.
because I am not joking. I fucking love the shit out of it. I really do. But if you ever think of like other ideas and you're like, you know what, let me try this, see what he thinks, whatever it may be, I'm all for it. I'm all
Well,
for it. Just like if you're bored and you're on your computer and you're just dicking around with editing or whatever it may be, and you're just like, I want to try something, see if it works. If you want me to be kind of like your guinea pig for intro videos,
yeah,
fuck, I'm all for it.
yeah. Well, I'm always going to get better at After Effects. There's just it's so deep in what you can go into. I mean, the stuff you
Oh,
can
there's a
create
lot.
with it.
Yeah.
It's just what I'm doing is just scratching. I'm not even scratching the surface really. It's just
Oh, I know, but it's better
yeah,
than what I could think,
yeah,
what I could
yeah.
personally do because I don't have the actual tools to do it yet.
Well, if you say you like to edit a little bit on audio. Editing audio is one of the most important things that comes into editing. To me, editing video because a lot of times you have to go to the audio to do the edit. Because a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
times I put together the music before I started compiling the stuff for the video.
Hmm.
I compiled the video alongside the music, so I could that version. I didn't really do the hits like I did the first one where I had the lightning hitting on the beat.
Yeah.
I didn't do that so much, but I still kind of hit like when the name comes up. I kind of had it hit
Oh, I could
at a
tell.
time.
No,
But
synchronization. I get what you're talking
yeah,
about. Yeah, no,
but
I totally saw it. I noticed it.
look, because like when they make an animated movie, they you write the script first, and then you actually have the voice actors come in and they record all their parts first. They don't
Hmm.
before any animation's done, because the characters have to be animated to the dialogue, obviously. So
Well, and it makes sense because,
yeah,
like, especially when you're like filming movies or filming TV shows, how they always make you take multiple takes. Not because, like, say you fucked up or whatever, but like even the ones that you did all the way through without messing up, there's so many to go through, and they have to find the best
yeah,
one that has this natural flow to it. Because
yeah,
I see it all the time in shows and TV where it's almost like a song,
yeah,
but no, I don't know how many people actually notice that.
yeah.
I've noticed that so many times in movies, especially like if you watch the 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie,
Hmm.
you'll notice a lot of the dialogue almost flows like a song.
Yeah,
It's all.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
that I would definitely use as a reference.
Yeah, and you can really stuff like that really sticks out to you when you're stoned as well.
That too.
Yeah,
That too. But
that's
I
what's
mean, even as a kid,
yeah,
I noticed that shit.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, the way like dialogue just has a certain flow to it, like a song.
Well, that's how music in general. You listen to it, you're like, man, were these guys smoking when they wrote this? Because it like the way it
Well,
it's
Indagata da Vida,
elements.
you know that song, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know the story behind it?
No, no, I don't. I don't know. I don't think I do.
Well, they were fucked up when they when they made the song itself. He meant to call it In the Garden of Eden, but
Really?
they thought it worked.
Yeah, I'd never heard that one. That's pretty good. But
Oh yeah,
you can see how if you were fucked up, you would kind of mess that in the Garden of Eden up in the Garden of Eden.
Indagata da Vida, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like supposedly, like John Coltrane recorded what's the name of that album? He recorded it one of his albums, maybe multiple albums on
Hmm.
acid, supposedly. So I don't know if you're familiar with John Coltrane, but
I'm sure a
saxophone
lot of
player,
artists.
jazz saxophone player. But yeah, and Coltrane was big on like what was you would kind of call free jazz, where it's just kind of free associating jazz. It's not
Hmm.
really. I guess he wrote songs, but it's like very loosely. It's like very loosely tied. It's very interesting. One of my old roommates was a saxophone player, a pretty good saxophone player, and he really loved Coltrane, so I heard a lot of it, a lot of his stuff. I like that kind of jazz. I know there's a lot of different jazz, and people are kind of into. Some people are into. There's different types, and I but I really like the really acid jazz is what I call it, the like really crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Miles Davis and stuff was the same way. Thelonious Monk, and people like that are really good.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely plan on making a video too soon for my channel. I'm just debating if I
Right.
want to do a collection update or give a review on Sonic.
Yeah, it don't matter. What did you? We can talk about it a little bit. We don't have to go in depth in case Jody wants to talk about it next
Yeah.
week or something.
Well, I
I
enjoyed it.
liked it. Yeah, it was pretty good. I think it's fun, especially for the kids. I guess I thought it was fairly clean. It had a
I was about to say there were
few
some
little
moments in there where it seemed a
yeah,
little dark.
yeah. Well, the dark. I don't really. I don't know if I really seen a lot of. Did it have? I guess it had some
Well, like when
adult jokes in it. Yeah.
without being it a big spoiler, because it's really not, just to let people know right now. But when you see the silhouette of Robotnik with the flash of lightning and it's a shadow on the wall, you know, that looks kind of creeperish,
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, that was kind of dark. I'm
Yeah.
stalking you. Yeah.
I would. I, I I know we're not trying to do spoilers too much, but I was going to ask you, what do you think about Jim Carrey's performance? I was kind of iffy about. I thought he's a little over the top. I know it's Jim Carrey, and that's kind of Jim Carrey, but and and I know there's no real basis for Doctor Robotnik, the
Mhm.
Eggman. There's no real basis because it's obviously a game, so we don't really have a character beforehand to really compare him to. Not really.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like Jim Carrey was just kind of playing himself. You know what I'm saying? Which is not, and that's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think, of course, this is the second movie, but I felt like the first movie he wasn't as over the top. I feel like they put in a lot of like little
Well, you got to remember,
extra
this
stuff.
one was
Yeah,
more Robotnik going mad.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so
So you got to keep that in mind.
yeah,
So
I
for him
just
to
don't
be
know.
over the top,
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate it though. I thought it was fun because it's kind of makes kids laugh, you know,
oh
because
yeah,
you got to think of it in that light too. I did feel like this movie may have been a little bit more kid centric than the first. The first one's a little cheesy, but not too bad. But overall, I felt pretty good about it. I thought it was pretty
I
good.
enjoyed it. I
Yeah,
did. I thoroughly enjoyed it without any guilt in any way, shape, or form. No guilt in liking Sonic 2
yeah,
because I thought the cast did all an amazing job kind of keeping that chemistry there and excuse me, the like their acting didn't seem much different, honestly. Like it was still Donut Lord, it was still his woman, like it was
yeah,
a lot of the same thing, but it was also new at the same time. And the way they worked Knuckles just kind of, especially
yeah,
towards the end,
yeah,
how he's trying to get used to Earth customs, basically, and just trying to think, how the hell am I going to fit into this place?
yeah. Well, I was afraid at the very beginning that they were going to kind of ship off the James Marsden character and like that whole. I thought it was going to be he's not wasn't going to be in it very much. I thought they were kind of shipping him out of the way, but then they end up tying the part in there.
Well,
It's
yeah,
in there
because
a
if they're
lot. So
Well, you got to remember they're supposed to be a family, so it kind of makes sense to try to, yeah,
yeah.
mainly do it on the characters, but also add James and that, in the mix.
Well, I thought the way it was kind of trying to set it up at first is they were going to Hawaii, and then he was going to
Uh-huh.
go on this adventure like when they're not around. But they tied the story. They interweaved the story back and forth, so it ended up being fine. They end up making that storyline kind of interesting.
Yeah, they did.
That girl I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but the girl that plays his wife in there, she's fucking hot. I don't know what he just say. You know, I don't know her name.
Oh, and the way those, the guy and the girl, like her sister and the FBI agent guy,
Yeah,
like the way she went off on him was hilarious.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So,
that made that storyline pretty interesting. I thought it was
yeah,
a little. I thought the after. Well, I better not say nothing because I don't want to get too far
the
into
movie's
this.
already
Yeah.
out, John. You can go ahead, and Jody's
Well, if
probably
we're
not even going to
doing
watch this
well,
episode.
we can talk about it again. So I mean, no, it's just how they like I thought the capture scene when they captured Sonic and Tails. I
Mhm.
thought that scene kind of pointless in a way because it kind of happened really quick and it was over with very quickly. I thought they could have added a little more to it, but
I see what you're saying.
it was kind of fun. It was funny though
It
how it
was a
worked
little
out.
quick. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It was they got caught quick and got let go quick.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah, and I can see where that would be a little bit of a frustration, but
It
to
wasn't
me, it was.
frustrating. It was just it was
But the thing was is that these guys kind of did it right in the aspect of people were wanting Sonic and Tails and Knuckles more than the actual humans interacting. That's why you see less of it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, what was it? Godzilla 2014. People were kind of upset
Yeah.
because you didn't really see much of Godzilla. You knew about him a little bit, and then you saw him a few times, and then you see him fight at the end, and that was it. You're like, where the fuck were you during this whole time?
Yeah.
In the water swimming here? You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was just a little bit. They could have. I know that you got. There might have been more shot for that, and they had to cut it out or something. But it
Most
works
likely.
out. But at the same time, you gotta. Sometimes these are edited to appeal to children, so they may not want to see them. See them locked up for a long time. But the one thing, sometimes the only thing that annoys me is the continuity with their powers. Like Sonic, sometimes there was things he would do that was like, why aren't you doing this in high speed? Because you can you're essentially like the Flash. You can basically super fast. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
There was something that happened to him. It's like you can probably get away from these people even if they had guns trained on you because you're like lightning fast. I mean, like the Flash, the Flash eventually in the comic books, he figured out how he could just vibrate. He could vibrate himself out of basically, he could vibrate himself invisible. He could move so fast that he was just vibrating.
Yeah.
And it could become invisible. I'm not saying Sonic's that fast. I'm not comparing those two characters, but I'm just saying he's fast enough where he could have ran, or his power, he could have escaped from that cage because he can travel at such high speed that even inside the cage he could have generated enough power to break through the bars. I'm thinking too far into it. I'm sorry. That's how I am. I'm thinking way too far into it, but I'm just saying that, it's kind of a convenience. Their powers are just convenient when they need it, and they kind of disappear. Yeah, there's the one scene where they're in the snow at the very beginning of the Siberian scene, and the Siberia scene, and I'm like, why is Tails just not flying them? Because they are in a heavy wind, sort of, but he could still, why are they walking really slow? Sonic could have just grabbed his hand and took off real fast through it. It's just little things like that.
I see what you're getting at.
I
see what you're getting at.
Yeah. That's why I'm gonna have the series eventually if I can ever get anything made for my channel. That nitpicking series.
Yeah.
But it's just nitpicking. It's just goofy stuff like that. It's just funny to nitpick movies. It's kind of like Mystery Science Theater a little bit. It's just harmful fun. Unharmful fun to movies. Yeah. Well, sometimes they need to be picked apart. But I thought in general the way the movie was cut together was better than I've seen some of the recent movies. I've seen some bad editing in recent movies.
Don't watch the movie Old.
Pretty bad.
Editing wise, one of the worst. I don't know what the hell M. Night Shyamalan was thinking. It was one of his worst editing movies ever.
He's not really done anything I've been interested in watching since probably The Village. I haven't really been interested in much of anything he's done since The Village.
I enjoyed The Village.
That's why I said since The Village. After The Village, excuse me.
Well, I mean, I've liked quite a bit of his movies, actually.
Well, excuse me, Glass and the other one,
Unbreakable, Split, yeah.
Well, Unbreakable, but yeah, Split and Glass, they were fine. Yeah, they were all right. I forgot about those, but yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I know that I think one called The Happening was one of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the other one? Didn't he do Life of Pi, or was that someone else?
I don't think he did Life of Pi. No, I think that's a Bollywood movie. And that's an Indian director, I believe. I
Well,
can
and my
look,
Shyamalan, he's Indian.
but that's true. But he's Philadelphia. He's from Philadelphia, though. He's not true
Well,
Indian.
no, I see what you're saying, but
Yeah.
huh.
Hang on a second. I've got it here somewhere. Find my L's. Ang Lee. I should have remembered it.
Sorry about that. Was grabbing a little snack while you were looking.
I should have remembered that. It's Ang Lee. Ang Lee did that first Hulk movie that won.
Yeah, and yeah, didn't he do Rush Hour?
He might have. I can't remember what his first movie was. Yeah, I just got the regular. Has that ever been released on 4K?
I know it's on 4K. I've been meaning to get it in 4K.
It is on 4K. Yeah, I had to pick that out. I was just going to show you some of the other things I got this week. Like I have said, I haven't got anything. Mostly just Warner Archive stuff for some weird reason because they've been cheap.
Huh.
James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. This is the Third Man. It's Orson Welles. He didn't direct this one, but it's a good Orson Welles movie. I think this is Third Man is a. I might be wrong about this. I think it's a noir.
Okay.
Actually, I've got some other Orson Welles stuff I got recently. I picked this up. I never had this on Blu-ray. National Velvet.
Interesting. I still need to get Some Like It Hot on 4K.
This one here I haven't seen either. This is called Dinner at 8.
Huh. Interesting.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's got Mark Dressler, but it's got John Barrymore and Lionel Barrymore and Jean Harlow, which fucking I think she's always so hot. Jean Harlow. It's got a really good cast, so pretty interesting. I'm interested to watch this. I got this too. I haven't seen this either. My Name is Nobody.
I'm trying to think of what else I got that's new.
So that's about it. Just a bunch of old movies this week. I haven't even looked and seen what's coming out this week. I might have to. I have no idea.
I might have put some of them away and forgot which ones were new.
But I think all those I showed you there, I got for basically less than $15 each. Most of them were less than $10 each. I don't know what's been going on at Amazon, but they've been selling a lot of cheap stuff. At least in like the Warner Archives. I don't know if they're trying to get rid of stuff or what. So
maybe.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this title?
I don't think so.
We're Back, A Dinosaur Story.
Mm-mm.
It's a good movie, especially like because I saw it when I was a kid. So it's that nostalgia feeling. Because if you're an adult trying to watch it just on its own,
yeah,
you may not like it. And I also got Those Who Wish Me Dead, Angelina Jolie. I love that movie. I actually thought it was one of her better performances too.
Oh, I was going to tell you since we got further on in the broadcast, I got in Galaxy the 22, the new phone.
Oh, you did?
Elite, yeah. I had to. My dad actually. He thought his phone was messed up. He had just an iPhone 10, and he thought he dropped it. And his phone, my dad's phone's on my contract, so I have a phone for him and my mom. Mm-hmm. So he dropped his phone and thought it was doing some weird thing where it was like kind of going bonkers on him, but then
Yeah.
it quit. I took it in and and my dad, he just didn't never reset it or anything. But I, so basically what happened, I went in to trade it in, and they were like, "Well, we'll take it in on trade we'll give you like $800 for it because there's nothing wrong with it. The screen was good, and
No, there you
so
go.
so I was able to trade his phone in even for an even 800, like for a 13 for an iPhone 13. So
Oh, nice.
just a regular 13, not the Pro and all that business.
Yeah.
So but I traded his phone in and upgrade. Also, getting the 13, I upgraded him to a 5G, which to the 5G phone, and then I upgraded. See, I had the Note 10 Plus, which was not a 5G phone. So my phone was paid for, and so I upgraded it, and I traded my phone in for $800. So I had 800. I still probably owe about $600 for a new phone, but still, that's a lot better than
Well,
paying the full price. So
depending on the retail of the phone, which S22 did you get?
the Elite,
The what?
the Elite.
No, not the plan. 'Cause- wait, who is your
No,
carrier?
well, whatever the top end with the top one with the
Ultra.
Ultra. Okay, yeah, the Ultra.
Yeah, because it goes 22, 22 plus, and then 22 Ultra.
Yeah, it's the Ultra. I think the Ultra was like, I think it's like $1,400 or something like that retail.
Try
I
making a
think.
video with it. You're gonna fucking love it.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I've really not taken pictures with it yet.
Oh, you're gonna enjoy, especially taking pictures for your Instagram. Gonna look a lot better.
Yeah,
It's got portrait mode on there, so that makes the picture look even better.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
And then you can edit whatever the hell you want with it too. Change the background. Oh my god, yeah, with your editing skills that you have right now,
Yeah,
imagine what you can do.
yeah. I haven't fooled around too much with it. I do shoot every now and then. I do shoot videos with it because I got a microphone I can plug in
What
there
I've been
and go.
using,
Yeah, yeah,
I used it on my last video or two, or just the last one in general. I can't remember.
yeah. It's amazing technology what we can do with just a damn phone. There's a lot
Mhm.
of downfalls with the cell phones. There's a lot of downfalls socially with cell phones, but the technology, if you use it the proper way and don't let it consume your life, then
Mhm.
it's a good tool to have.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't really do a lot of social media except for Instagram, and I watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, of course.
Other than that, I just use it for like I'm saying, taking pictures or looking up information and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I know other people are different. People, a lot of these younger people, they don't know any better. That's what they grew up with, and that's all they
Oh yeah,
know. So
I agree with that.
I think it's healthy to maybe. I'm not one of those people that puts down my phone for a whole day or something and doesn't look at it. But when I look at it, I just check like a messages or something, and then usually put it away or look through
It's funny. I
Instagram for
usually
a
check
few
my phone
minutes.
when it vibrates, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say I'm exactly a perfect person. I'm not. That has nothing to do with it. But I'm not like a perfect cell phone user. But I mean, it's just nice to have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt if they eventually start. They'll eventually start because they've obviously want to get these out to the masses. So they've definitely changed things around. Because when I first got an iPhone, like back in '08, I think.
Hmm.
I remember you had to pay like $500 for it or something like that, and they realized pretty quick that people were not going to be getting these high dollar cell phones and being paying $1,000 for them. So that's why they started including them with their plan or giving people big discounts on them. Well, because when I was in the AT&T store, now this is something I don't do. I keep that Note Plus. I had it for 2 years. I try to pay the phone off before I get a new one, and
Oh yeah.
but there was a girl that came in. I could overhear a conversation in the AT&T store, and she was like she owed like $300 on her old iPhone and ordered the new one. So she paid $300 off on her old phone so she could get the new version, which is probably barely any different.
She paid more money than she needed to.
Yeah, I think it was like 280 or $290 or something like that. She still owed on her old phone. And
yeah, because after she did that, she probably had to pay more with taxes before it was a monthly, payment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do at my kiosk. We charge only the tax that first day, and then it goes on to their billing cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing about the iPhones and even the Androids are kind of the same way, but like there's people that do that all the time. Like they get a phone every year. When the new iPhone comes out, they get the new one. And there's barely any difference from one year to the next. There's barely any difference. They might add a camera or something, and that's it. Like the operation of the phone is no different. Like I mean, my new phone looks exactly like my old phone, to be perfectly honest, except for the cameras. Yeah. But it runs better. It's a faster phone for sure. It's got a better processor in it and the 5G. That was my main reason for upgrading.
And a 45-watt battery.
Yeah.
They call it a smart battery because you can't change them now.
Is it better than what was on the 10? Because mine's actually, at first, my battery seemed like it was kind of draining quick, but today it seemed like it wasn't. So I think it's got a program in the phone that learns with your habits, and then I think it started kind of, fixing itself so it wasn't draining the battery as quickly. I don't know. It's weird.
Like my phone's warm right now because I'm using it to do the live stream.
Yeah.
But after the live stream, it'll cool right down.
Did you get the Ultra 2? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Now,
Wait until you see my pictures on your phone, because then you'll actually go, wow. Because remember, your old phone showed you a different display than what I display.
Right.
And now, since you have the same phone as me, you will actually see that high quality picture that your previous phone didn't show.
Yeah. The only thing... The main reason I got the Ultra was because I wanted the large storage capacity, the 512 or whatever.
Oh, you got the 512, same here.
Yeah. I wanted the large storage capacity, and the Ultra is the only one that has the large storage capacity, so I went ahead and got that. Because
Did you ask for the terabyte?
Do they have a terabyte? They do terabyte. Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think it's necessary. Because you can.
I'm just letting you know.
Well, I did ask, and I did ask what's the biggest one you could get, and he said, I don't think the guy really knew. So,
or maybe their location just didn't do it.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. That might be. Who do you work through?
It's a third-party company. They're called Wireless Advocates.
It might be just something they do, or maybe it might be through Verizon or something different, but. It doesn't matter, because the thing is, if I really need that extra space, I can just throw a chip in there.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
Have more. So,
oh wait, no, you can't. No SD cards anymore.
You can't put an SD card in that?
No, take a look at your phone. You'll notice there is no part for it.
Well, I installed the one thing. I thought it was a
two-sided. The SIM, you because it comes with the SIM card out of the phone. It doesn't come in the phone. Yeah. So that was your SIM card you had.
Yeah, I know that, but I thought it was a double-sided where you put on one side you put the SIM card, and the other side you put your SD. See, I asked him that. I asked him that in the store, and I said, "Can you expand it?" And he's like, "Yeah, you can." No, I guess not.
That he probably thought you meant more digitally than actual chip.
It still don't matter, because I've never shooting videos. I have ran out of space, but I just had to delete a bunch of old videos I'd left on there, so it wasn't a big deal. It holds a lot more than you think, even shooting in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not worried about that, but because I deleted, like I just transferred all my pictures and remaining video that I had on my own phone. I transferred those over to my computer instead of putting them on the new phone. Now I still have them on this phone because it's coming through like a cloud type thing. I still have access to them.
Mhm.
It's weird, but they're not actually physically stored on my computer, just new pictures. So sorry, anybody listening to us out there, but we're just talking phones now.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? It kind of goes hand in hand. Video
Yeah,
cameras, pictures,
yeah,
goes along with movies, art.
yeah, yeah. But I like the new phone. It'd be all right.
But just wait until you actually mess with the video and picture quality of the phone. I guarantee you're gonna have so much fucking fun with it.
You could do those time lapses with your phone. It's called hyperlapse on there. It's on your phone. It's called
I don't know if I
hyperlapse.
learned that part yet.
You just put it in hyperlapse mode and hit start, and it'll record it in time lapse. Now I think you might be able to go in there and kind of fine tune how fast you want it to. I've never messed with it. I've always just used it in the stock mode,
Hmm.
but it'll do it. You just set it up and hit go. Hit record, and it starts time lapse. It's not hard.
I mean, in editing or just like camera setting?
Just a camera setting. It should be
Said it's called hyperlapse.
yeah, it's called hyperlapse. Yeah, it's on here. It's a hyper. I don't think you can see it, but it's like right here.
Huh.
But
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
it just goes into that mode right there. See hyperlapse. And you
Okay,
just yeah.
definitely have to mess with that.
Actually, it has two different settings. I think the old phone just had one setting, but it looks like this has one time that says 0.6. So I don't know if that's 0.6 of the second or 6/1000ths of the second or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to read into it, but yeah, it's pretty easy to use.
Yeah, I'll have to mess with that and see what that is.
Yeah,
I'm sure
it's
you
just
will
time lapse.
too.
It's just time lapse. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to
Interesting.
do sometimes
Okay.
in a video
Yeah, I'll
if you have
definitely have
something to
to.
do. What I wanted to do and I've never done it is like build some kind of Lego. That's when I was kind of fooling with toys more, and I was going to do like some kind of Lego build
Hmm.
and time lapse it and then edit it together. But I never done it, so I have a lot of good ideas that never come to fruition. So
Because it
I
takes
I am
time.
working on a video now. So hopefully I'll have something out the end of the week. I'm in now the doctor so much, and then I've been busy here on the farm, so
Hmm.
I just don't feel like doing anything right now. But I have an idea. I have some ideas right now. I just want to put together, not necessarily. I said long form on my last video that I was going to make longer form videos. I don't
Hmm.
think I'm going to make longer form, but I think I'm going to try to keep my videos 30 minutes or less. But I'm going to put more complicated editing in them and tell a little more of a story.
Hmm.
So, that's I've got to do something different because
It
I'm
seems
just
like you want to change it up each time, kind of thing.
well, it's not so change it up. I just want to cover subject matter actually instead of just showing people my stuff, and that's fine. But
But everybody does it.
I've got more ideas in here than just that because some of the stuff I don't really want to get into politics so much. But I am thinking about doing another live stream just by myself. And it's going to be called Conspiracy by the Book, or
Okay.
Conspiracies by the Book, and I'm just going to go through books I've read and just pick out like a paragraph, or pick out a subject matter in the
Yeah.
book. Not read the whole book, just read like a paragraph or something in the book, and then talk about it, and
Yeah.
hopefully get some interaction like that. And
Doesn't
that's a
hurt to
way
try.
that's a way for me to get get some viewers and maybe find somebody that's interested in doing that kind of stuff with me.
Well, since you do a lot of editing,
Yeah.
maybe, and this is just a maybe what if, because it seems like Jody's blowing up on TikTok pretty well, you know, And I think you would probably do way better, especially with your editing, and put it on TikTok, like a less than 3 minute video,
Yeah.
and your
I
shit
don't.
would get hella views. You just got to tag, you just got to hashtag everything.
Yeah, I don't have much interest in TikTok myself. I don't even have it on my phone anymore.
I'm just saying, what if that was the platform that you actually fucking, get hella
Yeah.
followers
Yeah.
for like the movie stuff? I'm not talking about your
Yeah.
conspiracy part one,
Yeah.
but like for your movies, because
Yeah.
since you have really good editing skills, I'm sure
Yeah.
you could easily make like a 3 minute video or less, of what type of movies you got, or like a quick little review with certain editing, techniques that you've, learned. Like a lot of people do stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
It's an
I don't know.
idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I had to go on there. I don't know how to approach that for TikTok, doing the short video form like that. I don't
Well,
know.
you can always experiment. Like
Yeah.
grab like say a few movies or something of yours, like less than a handful, I would say, like grabbing, and just kind of like make a quick little first time video of you going, this is what I got for my pickups today. Uh, uh, back and forth with the titles, but with your editing, background that you have.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee, I bet yours would come out better than a lot of people that are on there.
No.
Like Jody has good editing skills, don't get me wrong, but I think you would actually do more justice than Jody.
Yeah,
No
I don't
offense,
know.
Jody, if you saw that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see in the future if I
Well,
feel
like
like
I
doing
said,
that.
it's just an
Yeah.
idea. It doesn't mean you have to go through
No,
with
I
it.
appreciate the ideas, but I just don't. I don't know. I just don't really like TikTok too much. But I don't. I know what you're saying about possibly getting more attention, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the kind of attention I want though. Personally,
Well, be happy.
everybody can do whatever they want to do. That's fine. That's
Oh,
why
of
I'm not.
course.
I don't complain too much about my subscribers or nothing. I don't have that many, but I'm. Yeah, right now YouTube's kind of screwed everybody. I don't know if you've
That's why
been
they
getting a lot
choose
of.
those other platforms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And TikTok, since you're
Well, what do
mainly
you? Well, I don't know what you mean by that. Why they choose them?
like those who I guess don't really use YouTube much anymore, and say use other
No.
platforms, whether it's like Facebook Shorts, Instagram Shorts, or
Yeah.
TikTok Shorts. Like people are using those other platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may still have it linked to YouTube, but they know that maybe that certain uncut video would be on that other platform because YouTube decided to say, "Oh, you're in the wrong for doing that."
Mm, yeah. Well, I'm talking about the algorithm, not people getting kicked off. I'm just talking about how they've kind of screwed over the small guy after the first of the year. Because like before I was kind of chugging along, getting like a few, a couple, 2 or 3 subscribers a week, and then it just like at the first of the year it just stopped. Like I don't get.
But see, I do that to my mental stability too. I end up
Yeah.
thinking, I'm never going to be this, I'm never going to be that, by viewership or
But this.
subscribers alone. I do that shit to myself so much.
Yeah. But I'm
But I
not.
got to
Yeah. I
remind
just not.
myself, it's a hobby channel. I
Yeah.
shouldn't be looking at it as a career, just
Yeah.
something else for fun.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. That's how I'm not too worried about it. But I do keep up with that stuff because I watch other. I don't make that stuff up about the algorithms. That's coming from
No, and I
large.
believe you.
That's coming from large, channels that have enough. They have enough people that they can actually track the algorithm because they don't. You get over 1 million people, then they don't. YouTube kind of helps you along a little bit for the most part, but like people in the 200,000 or 300,000 range, that's a lot of people. But they're like,
But a
they
lot of
can,
them
that,
are
but
also
those,
fake ass profiles too, just because they were scammers trying to scam other people and said, "Oh, I'm going to like that person because I actually do like them, but I'm going to scam you while I have this profile on."
yeah. But they like what I was talking about at the first of the year, that they got basically what happened was they figured that the algorithm, the way it was changed, was before you got most of your new views from most of your views came from non-subscribers, like
Mhm.
70%. Well, they flipped that. They flipped, almost like flipped the algorithm. So now you're getting them for your subscribers and not from new sources. That's why it's slowed down the subscriber uptick, because your videos aren't getting out there to new people. They're just going. You're basically getting. You're just basically, and I think that's why views have went down substantially, because before you only could rely on getting you really, even like the big channels, they only get about you only get about 10% of your subscribers, and because like a big, like for me, like I've got 270 and I get 30 views or something for a video, unless it's sometimes I'll get more and over time, but I'm talking about like within 48 hours or something I get
Mhm.
about 30 views. It'll tick up, up and up and up eventually down the road, but that's about 10% of my subscribers.
Mhm.
And like a big channel like has 300,000, they're getting 30 to 50,000 views on a video.
I know
And
because
that's
you and I, the biggest, well, and Jody, of course, but the
what's
biggest
going on, Mike.
YouTuber we had, do you remember who?
The biggest we've had
That we've had, yeah, on Cult of Collectors.
was
The
probably
House of Masks guy.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because he had hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube in general. He
Yeah.
had a few thousand on Instagram. That's different algorithm.
Yeah.
But, he advertised it when we did, and let people know. And we had a good show. And he was fun to chat with, He was actually fun to chat with. He wasn't one of those like hot-headed type of people, YouTuber,
Yeah.
I got followers, fuck you, kind of thing. No, it was a genuine just sit down, chat, what got you in the
Yeah.
hobby kind of conversation.
Well, I like the guys that will come on to the show, even though we don't have you don't have a big subscriber base,
Yeah, and he knew that.
and and I don't like the people I don't really care for is the people who are kind of snob. Well, some of the people, I'm not going to name any names. They might come onto our show, but then we never get invited to their shows. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm not expecting to myself, but there's some other
I'm on
personalities
someone's
like
list to
you.
get into their show. Just got to wait until he's ready.
Yeah, but yeah, Ken won't never invite me on his show because I don't
I
really
don't
like
see why
Ken too
not.
much. But but there's some guys that won't come on our show for nothing.
Well, Ken didn't ask anything to be on our show.
No, I'm not talking about Ken so much, but I'm talking about
Well,
some
no,
other
I
guys
know.
that
I'm
won't
just
even.
using
It
him
won't
as an
even.
example.
They won't even come. There's some people that won't even come on our show. Because we don't have 50,000 followers.
And I hate to throw this person under the bus that I will name because I know for a fact because he told me straight to my inbox, Jeff from Films at Home. As much as I look at you as a fellow moviegoer, collector, and all that kind of stuff, Jeff, if you happen to see this from us, I'm going to tell you straight up, you're a little smug. I'm not going to lie, you're a little smug, even though I still respect you. I do, but you're a little smug because you like to choose who's got bigger channel views and subscribers than little folks like us. And to me, that's
Yeah.
very smug of you. Even though I like you, you smug.
Yeah. Well, another one is shit. What's his name? What's God, I can't think of that guy. I have a beef with him anyway, so he wouldn't come on probably because of that. But
Maybe, don't know.
yeah, it's
Doesn't hurt to try.
God, I can't think of his name now. I haven't watched his channel in forever. But yeah, I just well, the thing is I
Blu-ray
look at it
Dan?
as once you no, it's one of the guys that's been on for a while. Crap. Jesus, why can't I think of his name? It's been a while. Sorry, everybody. I went
No,
blank
you're
on his
fine. You're
name.
fine.
But he yeah, I had some kind of beef with him a couple. years
Oh, I
ago,
think I
just because
remember this so-called beef for some odd reason. I don't know if you and I had talked about it before
yeah,
or
it's
what, but
yeah, it was just on the way he kind of treated me, and because I joined his what is the one of the pay sites pay not PayPal, but he had the one of the other what's
Cash
the
App?
yeah no what's the other one that everybody has. God, I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I'm sorry. I'm just going
I
bad,
can't think of it.
but he yeah, but he I was a member on there for about a month or so, and I asked him some questions, and he just gave me some kind of smart ass
Yeah, you
answers
unfollowed
back.
him. Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
I
think I
couldn't
do
argue
remember
with.
this conversation now.
God, what's his name? Crap. Everybody knows him. He's got a pretty good. He's got 30,000 people or something following, 20 or 30. God, I'm sorry.
No, you did. All good.
Because he was he's like he had like really cool stuff, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Patreon. Thank you, Hank. Yeah,
How's
I
it
said
going?
Patreon. But he always, I thought, when I watched him, I was like, man, we got a lot in common, because he collects a lot of the stuff I collect and got really cool stuff. And I tried to start talking to him, and he just was
Yeah.
a dick about it, and I hate that when he has people you think, well, I mean, I could have a good conversation with but then no. People should just have the attitude like I want to, no matter how big their channel is, I just want to come on and have a good, physical media conversation or movie
Mm-hmm.
conversation. But they don't. I was going to say, I don't know if Mikey's still around. That's Mike from Dag Films, my other
Yeah.
co-host for another stream I have. So, yeah,
I
thanks
remember.
Hank.
I remember him.
Thanks Hank for the Patreon. I went blank on it there for a second. I'm sorry I can't think of his name right at the. It's Heath. Heath from whatever Heath. That's his name. Heath.
Well, the only I think it's Heath. I think the only Heath I know, his channel is called Euphoria Pictures.
No, it's not that one. It's a different Heath. Unless he changed it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, was he foreign?
No, no.
Oh, then okay, not the same one.
Kind of had long hair and a beard, looked kind of like a little bit of like a hippie, sort of.
I'm trying to think because I know we do follow a lot of the same people. So
yeah, there you go. It's Cereal at Midnight. Thanks, Hank.
oh,
Thanks, Hank. Because I'm not stoned actually. Believe it or not, I'm not stoned, and I can't remember. Believe it or not. Yeah,
that's
thank you.
right.
Yeah,
Cereal at Midnight.
Yeah, I mean he collects cool stuff, but he was just kind of a prick a couple of times, and I just asked him just basic questions. I wasn't going after him or nothing. I was just asking him some questions. He came back with one of them was something I'd said something about the state of physical media, and he came back like I was scared of. It's like I don't like these people who are scared that physical media is going to go away, and I was like, I've been collecting longer than you have, buddy. I'm not worried about that. It was just being an asshole.
See, I've had my fair share of run-ins with him on Instagram, mainly on my personal page, because I have my Charlie Cinematic Universe page, and then my regular personal one. And my personal one was the one I gave him a follow on, and then messaged him back when I was still doing my own Zoom calls with my old friend Ben. And saying,
Yeah.
hey, would you want to be a part of it? You're a fellow moviegoer. I am, would love to talk movies. And he just always had a reason to not do it.
Yeah.
He would try to make it sound respectable, but at the same time, kind of dickish. And I'm not trying to say that as in a disrespectful way. And I want to make that clear to anybody watching right now. I want to make it clear that I do respect Cereal at Midnight, but yes, he kind of has a smug attitude. He really does. And it's sad because I would think someone in his stature would be more of a role model for people who followed him and probably got inspired and say wanted to have them on their show and say, you inspired me to help me start collecting again or something when I used to
Yeah.
collect and stopped or whatever it may be.
Well,
And yet he decides to be
he's absolutely the reason why I wanted to start my own channel. He's one of the people that inspired me to start my own channel.
Exactly.
You know, so.
And for him to kind of just give you a cold shoulder, so to speak, that's wrong on his part. Like, if he had a legitimate reason for not doing it and just say, hey, would you mind giving me like a couple of weeks, if anything? And you'd be like, sure.
I'm going to make myself perfectly clear for the people asking. I've not ever invited him to our show.
No,
but
I'm
talking about. But Charlie says you've invited him on your previous. Yeah, but the reason why I've never invited him here is because I had my beef before I started this show. That's why I've never invited him. Yeah, I don't think we would politically align because he's personally he's on a different spectrum than I am politically. So I don't I don't want to get into politics, but oh yeah, I know with a big he had a big blow up on his channel with a bunch of people. He posted some. This is I know why he got into it. Another friend, an old friend of mine on here that I had a falling out with that I had done. He is actually on the first Cult of Collectors when you came on that night.
Oh,
you remember that other guy that was on with us, the big guy?
Yeah.
He had a beef with him, but this is before we had a falling out. And
yeah.
And it was about he had made some kind of video. It was some kind of just off the wall political video, and people kind of criticized him over it because it wasn't a collecting video, and he all he made was collecting videos, either collecting one thing or that. And he got on this big rant where he's like, oh, I never intended for this channel just to be physical media, and he meant that I always wanted to be like, just pop culture and stuff like that. And he never and yeah, sure, he does that stuff a little bit, but whatever it was like he was in the wrong with his argument, and like that guy I know, he called him out on it and wrote this big diatribe to him about why he's wrong. And it was just kind of funny. But he was, I forget what he put some kind of video out, and it was just kind of weird. And then he tried to come to the defense when people called him out for making that type of video, and he said, I never said I was just a physical media channel, when the only thing you've ever done is physical media,
Yeah.
But I mean, like my channel, if I did stuff that goes away from physical media, people could say that about me, but I don't have 30,000 followers either.
Mm-hmm.
Where I have a big enough audience, and I have a audience that comes to expect certain things from me. I don't have that. So you can do whatever you want, but he was basically it felt like he was trying to do. I'm sorry I keep interrupting you.
You're fine.
Things keep popping in my head, but what he was trying to do was trying to use his audience that he had built through physical media to convey other ideas that wasn't related to physical media or movies.
Yeah.
So, like my channel, I could probably get away with more because I'm kind of where I'm called low IQ media. If I wanted to make a political video, it kind of aligns with the name a little better than like, calling yourself like I'm the movie nerd and then like making fucking slamming politics, stuff like that all the time. I mean, and you gotta, or you built up your channel to like 50,000 people.
What? You just gave me the greatest idea for you ever for your channel. No joke. Because it seems like in a way you're somewhat fed up but passionate talking about politics in a certain way.
Sorry, Hank.
And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because what I think you should do, just as an idea, just so you know, is whatever movie that you're going to review, talk about how politics plays a role in the movies.
Yeah.
Like what it actually represents. Like who wrote the script, who directed it, what was their actual intention with this movie, who was the original like mental I'm sure you know what I'm saying, but
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
something I would
yeah,
recommend because I think that would be a good idea.
yeah. It's kind of the direction I'm kind of going. You'll see with my next video.
Okay. What does that say?
I'm not going to
You
necessarily. I'm
guys
not
rock. Well, thank you.
forget the smug YouTubers. Yeah. No, I mean, I just
Thank you.
the problem with some YouTubers, um, I think people have they get like that. It's almost like getting famous. Like they think they get like a big head
Yeah,
because
it's a
they got
certain
like
mentality. Yeah.
when they get so many people, they just kind of like I'm gonna forget the little person. I only want to deal with big YouTubers. Like for example, I watched that channel um Friday Night Tots, that's Nerdrotic. Nerdrotic's like he's got a few hundred, 400,000 followers, and
Hmm.
he's been on YouTube for a while. So I have respect for people to work their way up. But he has Friday Night Tots is a panel of people, but only the people he has on there are only big people. Like, I mean, I don't have anything to say on there. I mean, I could talk with them because it's just like nerd stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't really have an angle to get on the show or to even ask to be on the show. But if there's somebody that was there's people that have extraordinary opinions that could be on his show, especially with comic books and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
That maybe only have a couple thousand people or less, like us, like two or 300 to 500, 600 people. But he wouldn't have them on in a million fucking years because he's got 500, 600, 1,000 people. So I don't like that attitude because
Well,
that's why I've always said
because
for
it's
his
not on
channel.
their channel or something like that,
Yeah,
possibly. I don't know. But
that's
it's
why.
like, what's wrong with sharing the audience?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, like when you have a music festival, what are you doing? You're sharing the fucking audience.
yeah.
And then you're also introducing them to new artists that they actually go, holy shit, I didn't know about that band. I like that band. You know?
That's why I've been adamant about our channel about having people on that don't necessarily have big platforms. I want because people still, even though we don't have a huge audience yet, I know we're still building up to it, but I know we don't have a huge audience, but still people look up to us and want to come on the channel, and
Oh, yeah.
I want anybody that has a camera, I'm be willing to talk to them about it because there's a lot of people that know a hell of a lot more than me about
Oh, yeah,
anything
definitely.
movies, so I'm always interested in listening to people. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
definitely.
I'm sorry. I always look at the screen instead of the camera. I'm bad about that.
No
So,
worries. No worries.
but yeah, it's like like Hank here. If he ever wanted to come on the channel, we'd have him on here because he probably has something interesting to say.
Most
And
likely.
so never feel free
Most
to
likely.
ask us on Instagram if you can be on because we like tonight we didn't have a guest. We just didn't come up with one. I'm bad about that. About trying to find guests because I just don't. I'm just not a. I just don't get on and talk to people a lot
Well,
on
just
social media.
remember,
But
it does not hurt to ask. If they
yeah,
say no or they're busy, I mean,
yeah,
we just got to take it. I mean, like, we
yeah,
can think of it as an insult or we can think of it they're just busy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, but I don't know. We're hitting about 2 hours here,
Yeah.
so sorry about it. Listen to us ranting for a while on this. I just don't. I don't know. I'm about you. I'm like you. I just don't. I just want to have an open dialogue with the community, and there's a lot of people.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people that kind of shut themselves down and don't allow it to happen. And we've had some people. I won't mention her name, but she was on her phone the whole fucking time we had her on, and it kind of aggravated us. And
We did.
yeah,
I'm going to have to go back and watch our shit.
her initials would be MBB.
MBB. Oh. Okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And I haven't seen her on Instagram much lately. She used to post pictures all the time with big stacks of movies, so I don't know if something's happened. And
It's more of a personal thing. That I can tell you. If you were to actually watch, like, the Movie Buff Pain channel or whatever, there's a
hmm
video of her talking about, like, the future of her life because her and her husband divorced, basically.
Mm.
They're going to be still best of friends because they both agreed that they kind of rushed the marriage, even though they don't regret their friendship. You know, she felt like she's still young enough to go, find out what life has for her, and I don't blame her for that. I really don't.
Well, that's a typical bullshit a bunch of people are going through. You know, that's what
Hey, but
Hollywood's
everybody
pushing.
goes through it at some point in their life.
I got to see the world like these Instagrammers. I got to travel the world.
I don't need to travel the world. There's only one place I want to go. Ireland.
Well, I'm just saying it's just an attitude. That's what you're seeing. That kind of attitude. That's why exactly what happened to Jada Smith and
Yeah.
that whole attitude. But I'm not going to go any more deep in that because you can go down to a super rabbit hole talking about that subject matter.
And then get slapped by Will Smith.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that to me, even though he's a lot bigger guy than me. But if I had to kick him in the nuts on live TV, then I kick him in the nuts.
Well, wait, is your property private property?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's private property, you get to shoot him, don't you?
No, well, I wouldn't go that far. I don't want to shoot.
But I'm
him.
saying, like in the state of Kentucky, isn't that legal?
In certain regards, you can't just shoot somebody because they come on the property.
If they feel threatened.
Yeah, I mean, not. See, I actually have my concealed carry permit, and so you have to go to class and stuff, so you learn a little bit about the law about it. I'm not saying it's like a super thorough class, but
yeah,
but you do learn about all that stuff. You can't just because somebody they have to be, if they come and kick your door down and are coming at you threatening, yeah, you can shoot them.
Well, yeah,
but
definitely.
if they kick your door in and come in your house and they turn their back on you and start to leave and you shoot them in the back, you're going to go to prison. You can't just shoot somebody. It's against the law to shoot somebody in the back whenever if they come in and see you have a gun and they turn to flee, you can't shoot them. You can't shoot them in the back.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
And then you have to, even if you do shoot somebody, you'd have to prove that what you say was true. Like if somebody broke into you by yourself and you just shoot them, they have no idea if the guy was threatening or he just came over as a friend and you decided to kill him. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can get in trouble. That's the thing about gun laws. It's like the liberals try to make it out like it's just, free for all. It's a free for all in the Midwest. It's not. There's plenty of laws and it's not just a free for all. There's plenty of laws already on the books that you can't just get a gun. You can't just go buy a gun. You can if you probably find one down around the U.S.-Mexican border because that's where they're coming in from.
I wonder how they handle DUI drivers there.
Yeah. But, you probably get one illegally. That'll never stop, even if they outlaw guns. That's who will have them, the criminals. They'll have them, and we'll be all at. But I don't want to get into that either. But, yeah, no, you can't just kill somebody. There are laws in place. Like Texas and here, there are laws where you can't shoot people when they come on your property, yes, but you can't just kill somebody for no reason.
Sorry, my cat started to pee on my floor. Oh, bitch.
Well, you want to wrap this up so you can clean up?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for everybody showing up this evening and joining us, and thanks for the comments. We appreciate that. You can find me on... I'm going to start doing this at the end, just kind of doing a round thing where we tell...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can find me at Low IQ Media on YouTube and Instagram.
Go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were finished.
No, I am finished.
Oh, okay. Well, Instagram, Charlie's Cinematic Universe, as well as YouTube, and now Twitter and TikTok.
Excellent. So thank you guys for showing up this evening, and we'll probably see you next week.
Hopefully. I think next Sunday is Easter.
It is Easter next Sunday?
It is Easter.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see.
I don't. It depends what everybody else has to do. I'm sure I'm free, but
Jody
everybody
may be
else.
busy since he's got a
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Guys,
everybody, have a good
evening.
night.
Talk to you later.
See ya.